Hi there. Welcome to Studio Movie Recap. Today we going to recap romance film, Crazy Rich Asians. The Calthorpe Hotel welcomes Eleanor Young together with her sister Felicity, son Nick, and niece Astrid. When she asked for her reservation at the front desk, the clerk and the manager, Reginald, lied about not having reservation because of her racial, she was Asian. Eleanor makes a call to her husband, who then makes a call to Lord Calthorpe and tells him to let them in. Reginald is humiliated when Calthorpe informs him that he has sold the hotel to the Youngs. As soon as Eleanor took over, she instructed Reginald and the clerk to clean up the mud that Nick had left on the floor. Years later, the movie reveals Rachel Chu. She is the economics professor at New York University, is teaching her economics class a lesson by having one of the students play poker with her, which she wins. Rachel then had dinner with her boyfriend Nick, who is a history professor at New York University. For the wedding of his best buddy Colin Koo, Nick says he wants to be accompanied by Rachel to his birthplace of Singapore. This would give Rachel the chance to meet Nick's family. Two women from the blog Radio 1 Asia notice Rachel and Nick in the corner, and one of them takes a photo of the two of them as she passes by and puts it online. Until Nick's mother Eleanor, who lives in Singapore, learns about Rachel. This spreads around the Asian community at the speed of light. She phones Nick to find out if he'll be attending the wedding with his mysterious girlfriend. Rachel is with her mom Carrie, and they discuss the fact that Nick has never really talked about his family. Rachel thinks they may be poor and that he's ashamed of that. When Rachel and Nick arrive at the airport, they're seated in first class. She was amazed and started to suspect Nick is rich since she knew how costly first-class flight is. She asked him about his family. Nick continues by saying that his family is not rich, they are comfortable, and that the travel is one of their benefits. Then he informs Rachel about the cousins he shares the inheritance with. A well-known Taiwanese director named Alistair Cheng is courting the film's star actress, Kitty Pong, despite the fact that she is a mediocre performer. Eddie, a banker who is married to Fiona and the father of her 3 children, is also Alistair's brother. Astrid, who Nick regards as a darling, is the last person. After interacting with a young child and admiring her teddy bear, she visited a jeweler to buy earrings that are worth more than $1 million. That's how rich his family was. The couple arrives in Singapore, where they are picked up by Colin and his fiancée Araminta Lee. They go around the city and indulge in local food that Rachel hasn't tried. They bought all kinds of food which Rachel enjoyed. Before Astrid's husband Michael enters the house, she reads a bedtime tale to her son Cassian. He married into an affluent family. However, Astrid often hides some of her pricey jewelry and shoes to avoid appearing supreme and lowering her husband's confidence. The following morning, Rachel travels to see Paik Lin Go, who was Rachel's former college roommate and whose family is one of the richest families in Singapore. Paik Lin's 3 siblings and parents, Wai Moon and Nina, are introduced to Rachel. Everyone stopped what they were doing after Rachel revealed that she's Nick's girlfriend and were amazed. They treated her as royalty and she didn't understand, so they told her how wealthy the Youngs are because they are the biggest real estate developers around the world. Rachel couldn't believe it since Nick never told her anything. Paik Lin pulls out some new outfits for Rachel to wear after Rachel informs him about the dinner the Youngs are hosting that evening at Nick's grandmother's house. Paik Lin and Rachel arrive at the opulent house. They arrived with fancy car and they were amazed with how beautiful the house was. Nick took Rachel to meet Eleanor and his ama, Shang Su Yi. Nick takes Rachel to visit with some of his relatives, including his cousins and aunts. The family didn't like Rachel after seeing her because she was not from a wealthy family like the rest of them. The following day, Rachel attends Araminta's bachelorette party with her friends while Nick attends Colin's bachelor party with his cousins and their wealthy schoolmate Bernard Tai. The bachelor party took place on a freight ship that contains a dance floor and swimming pools. Eddie criticizes Nick for picking Rachel, considering her to be just an ordinary girl, and points out to Colin that his own family would not have welcomed Araminta if she were not come from a wealthy family. When Nick and Colin leave the celebration and find a place to relax, Nick shows them an engagement ring that he intends to use to propose to Rachel. Colin notes that Nick already overwhelmed his family by not returning the year earlier to inherit their company, and to marry Rachel would mean he has to walk away from his inheritance. The ladies are treated to a spa day and shopping spree by Araminta while they are on an island. Rachel meets Amanda Ling, a friend of hers, who later admits she is Nick's ex-girlfriend and begins to carefully manipulate Rachel's emotions so she leaves Singapore. When Rachel hears the other women making fun of her, she decides to leave the spa. She ran to Astrid. Astrid tried to console her. They later discover a dead fish on Rachel's bed in her room with mean words written in blood on the window. That evening, as the other women danced and were drinking, Astrid assisted Rachel in burying the fish on the beach. When Rachel and Nick meet up again, she told Nick what happened with the other women. She is more furious that he kept information from her about his past. Nick apologized and told her that he was ashamed. He promised not to lie again. Later, he takes Rachel to Eleanor's house so she can learn how to cook dumplings from Su Yi just as Nick did. Rachel then takes notice of Eleanor's engagement ring, which she claims Nick's father bought it for her. Later, while Rachel is lost while looking for her room in Nick's home, she meets Nick's mother and asks for help. They had brief conversation while Eleanor explains to Rachel how their culture is selfless. They sacrifice their happiness to see their loved ones happy. She was very clear and told Rachel that she does not like her. She's not good enough for his son. She should leave. During their lunch together, Rachel admits she might not attend the wedding because she is unwanted by Nick's family. Paik Lin persuades her stay and brought her home so that she can work with Nick's cousin Oliver to choose a suitable wedding outfit. When Rachel shows up for the wedding, she impresses everyone with her outfit. The ceremony then continues with Nick confessing his love to Rachel, and they shared emotions during the wedding. Nick was very in love with Rachel and his mother saw this and was angry. Eleanor and Su Yi request a meeting with Rachel and Nick during the ceremony. She revealed that she hired private investigator to look into her past. She found out Rachel's mother was previously married to another man before she cheated on him with Rachel's father and fled to America, and Rachel's biological father is still alive. She commands Nick to break up with Rachel to protect their family image. Nick is furious at his mother for what she did. Rachel was disappointed and heartbroken and ran away from the party. Nick tried to run after her but couldn't keep up to catch her. Rachel went to Paik Lin to spend the night there. The following day, Rachel was shocked to see her mother arrive at the house. When Rachel brings up the subject of her birth, her mother confessed that her first husband was cruel to her and that she found comfort with a school friend who she later dated and later became pregnant with Rachel. She went to America out of fear that her husband would kill them if he found out. She tells her that Nick is the reason she came there because she was worried about her. The next day, Nick meets with Rachel in the city by the water. He takes out his ring and proposes to her, but she didn't respond. Eleanor accepts Rachel's invitation to go to a location downtown where people are playing mahjong. Rachel informs Eleanor that she declined Nick's marriage proposal because she didn't want to be the cause of his family's split up. She loves Nick so much that she will give up her relationship and happiness to see him happy. As Rachel and her mother were ready to board the plane to return to New York, Nick ran to stop them from leaving. He described the perfect proposal he would have made, but he doesn't care because he loves her so much and would give up everything to be with her forever. With all the passengers staring, Nick makes another proposal on the plane, but this time he uses his mother's engagement ring. This time, Rachel accepted to be his wife. Everyone celebrated their engagement and they kissed passionately on the plane. Later, Nick throws Rachel a surprise engagement party on a rooftop with all of his loved ones in attendance. Nick's mother was happy she finally accepted Rachel as she has proven to unconditionally love her son. While fireworks are exploding across the sky, Rachel and Nick kiss.